This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. Tonight we're going to talk about in this live stream, we're going to talk about alien invasion in November. And well, I'm out here Sunday night. There's no wind, clear skies, and I finally got the night I want to where I can do some UFO watching. So that's what we're going to do. So anyway, we looking off into that. Yep, can't see nothing, huh? So, but have a little bit of a live stream here. If I see anything going, I'll switch the camera around. But the thing is, we got these silos, in the ground that these things shoot out of that can make a big, boom and stuff. So off to the west, and sometimes at night you can see some really interesting things. So if I happen to see some, see, this is all you got to look at now. It's just dark. So like I say, if I see something, and I've seen a lot of stuff out here before, not as much recently as I did before, but anyway, sometimes some nights can be interesting. But let's get into, I see I got a few people here. Yeah, we're gonna have a discussion about the 3I Atlas interstellar comet, whatever it is, right? I mean, you got some pretty holy. I done a lot of material content on that. A lot on this channel. This is a political channel too, but it's Sunday night and I'm UFO watching tonight, so I don't want to talk about politics. Okay. Well, I guess this is going to be covered by politics, because we did have JD Vance come out there and said he wants to get to he's interested in the UFO thing and he wants to get to the bottom of it. But anyway, this November thing where some of these Harvard astronomers, physicists, and stuff are saying that we could be invaded at the end of November, have an alien invasion. Now, I don't know how, they would know what the aliens' intent were, but this object that's coming through the solar system, and I'm telling you, it's cruising through our solar system fast, came from the center of the 2% chance of this happening naturally. And it's just going to cruise through our solar system, go by Mars, our planet, it's hundreds of millions of miles, but in astronomical terms, that's small time, okay? But some of the scientists are saying as it passes behind the sun, we're going to be blocked from its view, and they're saying that somehow they can make a maneuver to slow down. Anyway, these are Harvard scientists. Now, I believe in UFOs. I'm not going to say I don't. I believe in alien life, but this story, like I say, if you were to do an alien invasion on a planet, why would you give a planet months' notice that it's coming? If you were a superior race, it doesn't sound too tactical to me. And I just believe if we're going to be invaded, we're going to have an object that is definitely using its own propulsion some way or another, and it's not going to. Anyway, it's just strange, okay? But day goes by and days go by, and this story is not going away. Okay, I just don't understand why it just ain't going to keep cruising through the solar system. Hey, should we see what's out in the night sky? Like I say, see, the thing is out there, I'm pointing out west. I know you can't see nothing now, but I'm pointing out west. And out west, you got farm places out there and stuff. But the next county over, 10 miles from me, I got, they got the silos in the ground where these things fly out of them. And, I've seen a lot of weird stuff off into that sky. So that's what I'm trying to sit there. And it's a beautiful night out. It's a Sunday night of the Hidden Truths, okay? Be ready for the rapture. Well, I tell you what, when God gets pissed off enough, people are going to sit there and be ready for something, okay? Prepare. I also got a channel, Lone Wolf Prepper Lives, because my Lone Wolf Prepper channel got canceled. But anyway, I'm a prepper too, believe me. I don't believe that society, and especially with everything that's automated and we have AI taking over and stuff, all it takes is one little hiccup for automation to completely go down. And it's crazy time. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got out there is the missile silos. And stop by one or stop in between them or whatever, because they're scattered all over and stuff. Because you will have Air Force in a Humvee with a machine gun pointed at your butt within 3 minutes. And I knew a guy who worked security for him and stuff. I said, "Where do you guys hide? There's no place to hide high security." And they can use deadly force if they have to. Okay. That's one thing you'll mess around with those people from in the middle of the galaxy, okay? And then there was one in 2017 that came by that was smaller, like 0.7 miles wide or whatever. And then one in 2021, I think they found another one doing the same thing that come into our solar system and then out the other side they go. And now this one, that's the size of Manhattan. I mean, these scientists are actually saying this thing could be an alien invasion. They're saying it could be. It's a possibility. And they say, well, it's also possible it could fly by. But they just say a lot of the characteristics that are going on with this 3-eye atlas is very strange. Okay? Now, we don't know everything about physics. Hey, Nebraska doesn't allow windmills, but if you see the flashing red lights out there, that's in Colorado. They have windmills out there. Yeah, Nebraska hasn't gone for that wind stuff yet. Tell you what, that can destroy a lot of pasture land real quick. Anyway, but yep, just sitting out here in the dark tonight. Hoping to see some unidentified flying objects, and they're not cooperating. I mean, I could sit out here years ago. I saw a lot of weird stuff during the day and at night. It didn't matter. A lot of weird stuff. And, well, maybe our nuclear arsenal isn't as important anymore because they got newer and bigger weapons, huh? Who the hell knows? But, I mean, you would sit there. It was crazy. Lights coming from the sky, beaming down to the ground. Lights from the ground beaming up to the sky. Oh, you saw all sorts of weird stuff out here. And now it's just like, I mean, I could sit out here 7 years ago and say, hey, let's go out in the Grove and watch for UFOs tonight. And we'd see something. Those drone sightings we had, remember that? That kind of all went away. How Donald Trump said he was going to sit there and tell us what was going on with the drones, these drones and stuff. And then the FAA was running some secret whatever test or whatever. Never did hear nothing on that. But I would say that there's probably a lot of people that would disagree with the scouts, the intelligence gathering for this alien invasion we're supposed to have in November. Because it'd pretty much be a year away, wouldn't it? If it was at the end of November, it'd be like a year from when this other stuff started. All these stupid, ridiculous excuses they came up with. Now, I never saw one of them, but I saw a video of them. Okay, you got something as big as a garage floating through the air. Okay, it's not a drone, buddy. Okay, they weren't drones. Like I say, if they were drones and fly around in it, show me one of those drones. I'll go buy one in a second. Yeah, right. So it's not a visitation. It's hostile. How the hell do you figure they're hostile? Like I say, if you were hostile, want to take over a planet, the last thing you're going to do is give them 5 months notice and give them signals that you're hostile, right? Why the hell would you do that? I mean, I was in the military. It didn't sound very tactical. You just kind of show up like, boom, we're here. You ain't got much time to deal with us. But, this thing the size of Manhattan, little ships coming off of it, just like Independence Day. Anyway, I know what it is. Santa Claus is coming to town. I don't mean to make jokes of it because, like I say, I believe in UFOs. I believe in Area 51. I believe in aliens. Believe me, I know we are not the only life. And if they want to say intelligent life in the universe, and I'll argue the intelligent part of it. Okay, but it's impossible. But I just don't see some scientists seeing something that's coming through our solar system in a very unusual way. Okay, but still, it how can you tell it's hostile? I mean, it's supposed to come within 170 million miles of Earth on its trajectory. They're just saying it's going to use the sun to slow down and come and raise havoc, raise havoc on the Earth. I just don't understand how they sit there and they're going to be hostile. But anyway, is this a psyop they're playing? I don't know. They're pushing it. They're pushing. One of my dogs came back here. So anyway, yep, weird times, everybody. Invented the V2 rocket. It was the father of our space program, and said that when they go for totally taking us over, they will use the aliens as a false try to take over control and stuff. I don't know. But when the government starts coming out and saying this stuff, man, I don't know. I don't know. So it sounds like they're covering something else. I mean, they're not going to come out and, it'd be like them coming out and telling us that this was going to hit our planet. They're not going to give us no warning about that. They're going to wait till it smacks right into us. But anyway, I tell you what, I got my, we're talking about aliens and UFOs. I got, oh boy, just joined. Hey, not a problem. I got my alien abduction stories. And, that's part of UFOs too, alien abductions. And let's just say I've had some definitely weird experiences from the time I was a kid till, well, up until I was seeing all the action around here. But yeah, we used to see, anyway. And I got a piece of metal in my eye. And, I got an abduction story, but I don't like talking about that on YouTube because I tried talking about that on YouTube and they cut the feed down, canceled I never even did the live stream. Strange. Anyway, I watch a lot of alien abduction videos and I never see anybody get canceled like I did. Like say, finished. You are finished. Crazy, but I remember things. But when YouTube goes ahead and does that and sits there and finds a video that this little old man makes about alien abductions and they cut it off, well, it doesn't sit there and make me feel that it may be all in my head. Anyway, that's just another little thing in life. I got a lot of interesting stories. Like I said, I love to start a coast to coast AM type stuff channel at night, Fridays and Saturday nights, do ghosts and UFOs and Bigfoot. I can't wait to be able to go Bigfoot hunting. When I am out in the woods, I'm just out here in my grove, right? Yeah, I'm out here by myself. There probably isn't a person within 4 miles of me, right? But, when I'm out in the woods, and I'm doing some serious Bigfoot hunting, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, I probably ain't gonna be able to live stream where I'm at because I won't have signal, but I'll be making video. That's the thing. You're hunting Bigfoot. You really got to ask yourself a question. Do you really want to run into them? Do you really, really, really want to run into them? So, you know, I guess I'll find that out if I ever run into them. But, you know, one of those little adventures I want to do to expand this channel besides talking about political stuff all the time. Jeepers Cripes, with the clown show we got in charge right now. I tell you what, I wish I had the talent to be a comedian and get on here and do stand-up comedy. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should just try it once. With all the retarded stuff that's going on in the world, okay? All this stuff we're supposed to believe that's coming out of people's... Santa Claus is coming to town. Columbus must be barking at the horses. That's one thing, my horsies. Stuff ever gets stupid, I won't be walking. Anyway. So if we do get invaded in November, I hope everybody's prepared for Independence Day. I don't know how you prepare for that. But, you know, these people, if they are aliens, they can't be too technologically. I think they found it in July 1st, I think. So it's only been a month. It passes Mars in October. Out, it goes past Jupiter. But I mean, it's like doing it in under 6 months. That's moving, okay? That's moving. And they just say with the trajectory that it's taking, it would be able to do a lot of surveillance as it's going by these planets and stuff. And I don't know what they have to surveil on Jupiter and stuff. I mean, if you came from the middle of the galaxy, you've seen a lot. I mean, yeah, there's planets that are inhabited, but there's lots of planets that aren't, okay? There's a lot of planets that aren't. You know, planets being made all the time. When it comes to universal time, I'm not talking human time. It's not like planets are being made every day. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, crazy time. So it'll be interesting as, let's see, we're in August, so we got August, September, and October. So we'll see what they're saying, let's say, you know, at the end of September, or maybe in a month, and then 2 months, you know, maybe this fall type of stuff. Especially, I mean, are they admitting alien life exists now? Are they finally saying that we're not alone in a subtle way? You know, we're not going to come out and just say the words, but we'll just beat around the bush enough so you get the message, right? Is that what's going on? I just don't understand how they figure these, create a war. I mean, that'd be a logistical nightmare, don't you think? That'd be some awful damn long supply lines. They can't carry all that stuff with them. Not for an invasion. That'd be like the Normandy landing, everything that was there on the first day, that's what they used all the way to take over Hitler. That was crazy. That never happened, okay? Continuously bringing in supplies. But see, this is my militaries are, okay? And I'm sure if you're going to take over a planet, even if you do have superior technology, you're still going to need a lot of beans, bullets, and Band-Aids. So, anyway, add a little realism to these scientists that are getting a little excited. But then again, any Sasquatch sightings? Oh, wow, can I leave my 15-year-old daughter alone with you? What the hell's that? Whatever. Any Sasquatch sightings? No, I haven't. I did have an experience once as a kid. Me and my brother reminded me of something because he brought it up once we talked. He brought up some 5 and 6, maybe 6 and 7, and it was wintertime. And we were down at the drainage ditch on the water and we were ice skating. And all of a sudden, both of us jumped to the bank of the ditch. And we were still we looked at each other and we climbed up the bank and we ran home in our skates, a quarter mile. We ran home in our skates. We just picked up our boots and ran. Now, one thing was, do you remember that we heard the ice break? Like something jumped on the ice and broke the ice. And it came from inside. There was a culvert. And it came from inside the culvert. So I don't know. All I know is that scared the living shit out of me at that age. Like I said, we went running across that field in our ice skates. Just like, my God, it was like we didn't stop. A quarter mile, we didn't stop. I think we had to have sprinted the whole way. I mean, that was extremely scary. So this is the thing. When you go Bigfoot hunting, do you want to run into him? I don't know. But I guess we'll find. I'll show you my underwear to show you I wasn't kidding. But yeah, like Loch Ness Monster, you know, they pretty much proven there's something in there. That one photo they got of this, I don't know, it looks like a damn dinosaur to me. The side of it with the fin flipper, huge ass. Anyway, it's something big, okay? And, you know, maybe one day. But, you know, they say, well, how come people don't see Bigfoot? Like, if he was real, how come they don't see him like regular animals? Because, okay, how many deer would you see if the deer consciously, up in their head, tried to avoid human beings and never wanted to be seen by a human being? How many deer would you see? Zero. You're dealing with an animal that's staying away, or whatever it is, prehistoric man or whatever the hell it is, that is conscious enough to stay away from humans, to not make sure they interact as least as much as possible with humans, unless it does sounds like they can become violent too. They like throwing rocks, but it doesn't sound like they like light. So that's one thing at night, using strong lights could be a weapon instead of shooting. Okay, if they won't come into the light while you're protected. Kind of like that movie Pitch Black, huh? Anyway, but I know it's not something I'm going to do by myself, but I do plan on there where animals don't normally see people. They see the horse first. Now, anyway, it's just a different experience, okay? But it is dangerous, okay? People always told me I'm going to end up dying one day because I always go riding in desolate, isolated, crazy spots by myself. Well, then I'll die a happy man, right? I'm not afraid to take an adventure. But anyway, no UFOs tonight. This is crazy. Like I say, when I lived here, it was 2010 to 2017. You could sit out here in a night like this and just see all sorts of weird stuff in the sky. Like I say, it didn't matter night or day. I've seen lots of really weird stuff during the day here too. When I was married with my last wife here, she actually said that she saw, anyway, that was a strange night, okay, because my daughter was involved, and it was just, that was some strange times. Anyway, lots of stories to tell. You know, everybody sees, you know, this is the thing. I think a lot of people have seen a lot of stuff that they excused away, thinking it was something else, trying to explain it. You always try to rationalize stuff that doesn't make sense to you. You know, rationalize it in a reality that you exist in. Seeing stuff that makes you feel like you're in the Stone Age, you know. But maybe one day. Kind of disappointing. Like I say, it used to be kind of exciting here. Let's go UFO watching. Okay. I should have made a fire tonight. Maybe that would have helped. But I tell you what, I appreciate everybody being here, but yeah, this is a beautiful Sunday night. You can't go in the house like this. After it's been hot all day and Sunday and you're laying around staying cool and stuff, you got to come out here and enjoy the night air. especially here in Nebraska where the wind blows almost all the time. To get a calm night like this, yep. Sorry we didn't see anything. If we get invaded in November, what odds am I putting on it? I'm gonna say 99 to 1%. 1% we don't get invaded. 99% this whatever it is keeps strolling through their solar system till it kicks out the other end. Okay, but there's still that 1% chance. Okay, 1 in a million, right? Like Lloyd says. So you mean I got a chance? From Dumb and Dumber, Anyway. But I appreciate you being here tonight, enjoying it. I tell you what, peace and quiet. You hear it out here? You see it out here? You see it? That's what I got out here. No city, no crime. I can sit there and I'll keep my door unlocked, keep the keys in my vehicle. Yeah, I still got Second Amendment protection with my first doggy protection first. But this is what we got, nice and quiet and relaxing. Nothing but enjoyment out here. This is when you understand what true freedom is. This is when politicians sit there, people that understand city life, and that's it. So it makes it so hard, like gun control. A gun is a tool out here. You're a rancher, okay, and then you got coyotes and stuff taking down your calves. Well, guess what? You take care of the coyotes. Against guns, it's a tool out here. Yeah, it's like a hammer. You can use it right, or you can use it stupidly and cause damage to somebody. But anyway, it's so peaceful out here. The mountains is even better. This is farm country here. Up in the northern part of Nebraska is ranching country, pastures and stuff. But the mountains. Say, lots of things to do in this world. Not enough time though, right? I'll eventually get time. Just got here. Hey, thanks for being here. Truth. Hey, the world's nothing but covering the truth up with the bodyguards of lies, isn't it? But hey, I'm glad do you have a channel? Truth Seeker, you got a channel? If you do, I'm gonna check out your channel. Hearing the truth, being told they didn't care about our feelings, being held responsible for doing stupid shit, and having to sit there and, anyway, times were different back then. So, but yeah, I like the name. I only have one video on my, but I have about 100 playlists looking for truth. Yep, well, I tell you what, see, this is the thing. On YouTube, all saying the same sub message to DC, they would fucking hear us then. Lots of them. I'm just a upset Marine who don't understand why what we fought for overseas is all of a sudden showing up in Washington, D.C., in our government and in our big cities. Someday when I think I have something that I can say with any real certainty. Your opinion, sir. And you get stuff wrong sometimes. But given your opinion, like you would sit there, if you could talk face to face with your politician, one you agree with or one you disagree with, go into your camera and talk to that politician. You have the ability to do that now with social media. Yeah, they are crazy. My subscriber count should be definitely a lot higher than it is. But anyway, it doesn't matter because the message is getting out. Okay. And you know, with the political situation as it is now, where you got both parties starting to realize, or I say you got 25% Democrats and Republican conservatives in the middle, the JFK Democrats and the Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan Republicans are be like, what the frick is going on here? And we got to remember, we're the majority. Even though we're not in the same political affiliation, we're still the majority, though, okay? We still believe in the Constitution. I don't want to get into that on this video. Like I said, I got lots of videos on political commentary. But, you know, it's easy to do. Everything's political today. So I'm sitting out. But, yeah. The thing is, it's not time to be silent, everybody. Now is not the time at all. That's why I'm on YouTube. You know, everybody that knows me is so surprised that I'm on YouTube. I have a channel, and it's growing because this wasn't like me. Oh, there was a falling star I just missed. Shit. Damn it. That was a nice one, too. Oh, I want it to be on me a little bit. Yeah, it was a nice falling star. Oh, I guess I should make a wish. I wish for world peace. I think I just wished in one hand and did number 2 in the other hand, huh? World peace. How are we supposed to have world peace when people can't even get along with their neighbors? Oh, my politician told me I'm supposed to hate my neighbor. Okay, they got you. It's probably Columbus. Who knows? Maybe it's Bigfoot. Who's in the bushes? I regret I have a lot of comments and talk in person to say many as I can. I don't know. I just, you know, I'm a pissed off Marine. I never had a problem getting in front of a group and speaking and stuff. And, you know, I've been talking like this since the mid-90s. You know, when you go in the Marine Corps and Ronald Reagan's in office, and you get out of the Marine Corps and Bill Clinton's in office, let me tell you, wow, talk about opening your eyes up in the direction the country's going. So anyway, I've been talking like 9/11. I told people for 7 years we were going to have 9/11. I dealt with terrorism the first 4 years in the Marine Corps. I knew how much they hated us. I said, they're going to get us once. Everybody, oh, you're crazy. They'll never get us. They'll never get us. So on September 11th, 2001, I wasn't surprised. I was sitting there watching TV, the news when the second plane flew in. And I went down and woke up the wife that time and said, see, I was right. But I was told crazy the whole time, but I never got an apology from any of these people. So, I mean, to me, it was as simple as reading the book what was going to happen. And I know there's a lot of theories on 9/11. My theory is the government knew about it. God dang. Woo, that was beauty. Talk about scaring the living shit out of me. When I sit there and feel something on the back of my neck, that's who was by the bushes. It was my beauty, my horse. You can't see her because she's pure black. Woo! Beauty, what are you doing in that tree? I thought that might have been Bigfoot. Boy, she was sniffing. So, yeah. Interesting, huh? Hey, Beauty, you just took a couple years off my life. There goes Kiowa. Better, you know, did a short one time. If people would slow down and see what they're missing, they would understand what was important or something like that, right? And that's so easy to do out here. If you watch some of my shorts, you know, like Alabama down home, I mean, I understand why the Indian didn't want to give up their freedom, okay? Completely understand that because you can't help but feel it. And like I say, you ain't gonna have no politician. Holy cow, that moon's bright tonight. Anyway, maybe I'll be dealing with werewolves and Dracula and stuff. Okay. Ah, yep, I tell you what, I like my life. I wouldn't trade. I just, peace of mind. I'm just not a big person for money, okay? Money just brings problems. If I had a lot of money right now, I'd be trying to sit out here and do this, and my phone would be ringing non-freaking stop. Money ain't worth it. Money is not worth it. Peace of mind. Money ain't gonna make you live longer. Peace of mind, healthy life, okay? Staying active, that'll help you live longer. Less stress, working the number one muscle of your heart, you know. Anyway, yep, it's peaceful. Okay. Yes, beauty did scare the shit out of me. I always wanted, when I was growing up and wanted to be a cowboy, right? The first, I was watching, Bonanza, and of course Gunsmoke, but Bonanza, and watching Little Joe on that black white paint. That was always the first horse I wanted, was a black and white paint. And that was Kiowa. You saw him walk behind me. And then my Black Beauty, and I got my Black Beauty. I've had quite a few other horses too, but Kiowa was my first horse I ever had. I learned to be a cowboy till I was 40 years old. I went out to the mountains in Wyoming in the winter and learned how to rope and ride. And fulfilled one of those dreams in my life. So, plus I've worked at ranches and stuff, but let's just say ranching has changed over the years. They're becoming more modern, as they call them. They don't use horses, they use four-wheelers, and just everything's going modern. It's taking the fun out of it and stuff, So, cowboying's not a job. Cowboying's a way of life. And, being a lone wolf prepper, just having horse skills just makes it, when you're out in a 30, when you're working cows on 280 square miles, when you sit there and we would gather 1,200 cows like the Old West and string them out and move them all day long, have them stretched out 3 or 4 wide, stretched out for a mile and a quarter and stuff out in the mountains of Wyoming. I mean, whoo! And people, I got paid to do that. Paid. Yeah, I had to learn how to be a cowboy and you working on the horse and stuff and moving cows. I knew cows from growing up, but not working on the open range and stuff. But people pay a lot of money to sit there and experience what I experienced. And then it was just, I love it, okay? I love chasing down calves and roping them. I love moving cows. I love working cows with a good horse and a good dog. Yep, I'm enjoying life out here. People in the city, they have that show Survivor, right? You put me on a desert island, they ain't gonna see me for 2 months until it's time to get off. You put me in the middle of a city, a Survivor show, like where they put you in the middle of New York. No. Hell no. Especially after it's hot and miserable all day long. So, but anyway, everybody have a great Sunday evening, and everybody have a great week. And hope to see you back on the channel. I do live streams most every night at 8 o'clock between 7 and 8 o'clock Mountain Time. I've been going a little earlier because I got some East Coast people that listen, and I like to go a little earlier sometimes. So I've been shooting between about 7:15, 7:30. But anyway, I appreciate there. That's where I talk my political talk, and I can start sounding like Alex Jones sometimes. Support the channel with subscribing and all that stuff, thumbs up, and share my content. Let's get the word out. Anyway, this is Tom with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.